It'd be like if they should have put a ring on it. Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. This is called Live and Unfiltered, and I'm back with my girls. I feel like you already know who they are because they're always on my channel. But this is
Joyce.
And this is
Nancy at Nancy_Adani on Instagram.
Please don't follow her because she does not post anything. Okay. She's not going to accept your request. So today we are doing a Live and Unfiltered. We did that like a year ago or so. We are going to be talking about, should you be doing wifely duties as a girlfriend? Come on, Joyce, bring it back in. Okay, slide over.
Oh, man.
Okay, so y'all let us know what y'all think about if you would do wifely duties as a girlfriend or not. And we're going to have a chat about it too, if we would do wifely duties as a girlfriend. All right, ready and go.
No.
What about you?
No.
She's
about
lying. No.
I'm not lying. I would not do wifely duties. We discussed it that I wouldn't do wifely duties because, like, I want my individual, before I even move in with them, I think that's a really big step. That's a wifely duty. I want them to have at least proposed to me, so I know that there's a commitment there. So there's just certain things that I wouldn't do dating you that I would do if you were my boyfriend. So there's things that, like, that's another level. Husband's another level. And there's just things that I wouldn't do for someone that hasn't given me that full commitment.
Okay, yes, so she already started it. We only a minute in. But what do you consider are wifely duties?
I feel like wifely duties is kind of like the stereotypical roles: the cooking, the cleaning, the maintenance of the house, be it like bill pay, no matter how much each side is contributing. Like just the maintenance of the house, and then there's this thing of like, oh, the men is separate over here. So I feel like, for me personally, I said no, because I'm not gonna, like, one, invite you into my space, which is a very intimate thing, and then two, do all these things for you, basically serve you without the promise of marriage or anything further than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just a roommate to you now. Like, I'm a second mom damn near. And I'm not doing that.
Okay.
Even with the ring on my finger.
No!
Soft
You want
life.
to ring? Soft life period. So what do you think?
I think wifely duties are putting, like, that person in front of you, but I wouldn't say necessarily putting them like ahead of you. I would say where you just, like, you think about them a little bit more, right? Like, you're like, oh, okay, when I do make a decision, I'm including them into my decision, or I'm including them into the things that I want in my life. And that is wifely duties, because once you start including someone and breaking that barrier right there, you're gonna be like, I gotta cook for my husband, I gotta cook for my man, I gotta do his laundry, I gotta go make sure he has doctor's appointments too. And I don't think that someone who's not my husband deserves that.
To me, I think wifely duties is most importantly having a kid by somebody, because I think that is a privilege, not a right, to have a kid by someone. So I think that's a wifely duty. I think me living with you is a wifely duty, because, like, I can live by myself. I don't need to live with you if I'm not creating something with you, or if I even want to create something with you. Like, I don't have to necessarily live with you. So I think that that is a privilege. I also think wifely duties, in a sense, I think what is the standard of it is the cooking and the cleaning, in a sense, like the whole family aspect of it. And also, like what you were saying about, like, just thinking about him, like making sure he good, okay, do he got this, do he need this? Like, I feel like to have that level of thinking of someone, whatever that is called, I think that is also a wifely duty. So I wouldn't be doing that if I don't feel like I'm going to become your wife. Like, I don't really understand why I should live with you.
Ooh, keep going, but I have something to say.
I don't understand, first of all, why I should have a baby with you. And I'm not saying that commitment is going to make them stay, because we be seeing single married mothers, we be seeing divorcee single mothers as well too. But also it's like a promise, it's like something that I can see, that I can hold on to, because I'm not going to be building a life with you and just be like, oh, we doing this, we doing that. So I feel like there should be a level of commitment if I'm going to put my all into you. And I feel like as women, we kind of put our all into who we're with. And so then I feel like then we can kind of get like, you know, dumped by the wayside if something happens. So it's like, I'm about to be having no kid, risking my life for you. I'm about to be out here having my safe haven look like crazy, my mental, because like you are like trying to do this, trying to do that. Like you have me going all these different ways, like not consistent on what's going on. So I need something consistent. I need to know what is going on for me to be able to, you know, do like wifely duty. So that's like, get me a ring and then we can get married and then we can go on.
What if he like the ring physically is in there, but he's just like, he's talking you up to like, oh yeah, I definitely am gonna marry you one day. Like
that's false
we gonna have
advertisement.
her, you know, like something like, now this is my dream for our family. We gonna have this house. We gonna live here. We gonna do this on Sunday mornings. Like, what if he's like saying all that and treating you right on top of all that? Like,
that's
do you think that
advertisement.
naturally that's sort of like submission or like the traditional wifely roles? Like, do you think you'll naturally exhibit that?
No, because we're not living together. We're not living together. That's false advertisement. You talking about a ring. You talking about
what
this.
if he's like over? Because you know, when you're in a relationship,
when you're what?
What if he just comes over? Because when you're in a relationship, like you be over at the other person's house.
Mm-hmm.
Like one person's gonna be at one place more than anything. You know what I'm saying? It might be 80% at his place or him at your place and 20% at your. You know what I'm saying? So like, what if he is not pushing out on you, but presenting that to you in a very convincing way?
Like presenting what? Like he's coming over, he's presenting like, this is what he wants to do. I'm going to be like, get a bitch aboard. I'm like, I need to see a plan.
Okay.
Because in general, like that's what I say. It goes back to me thinking about you. Just because you come over, I'm not trying to sound rude. That don't mean I got to cook for you. I could have already ate before you came. You could have came. You could have ate before you came. You know? Or like you can bring me food. I'm not saying that I won't cook for you, but like this is my house. I'm thinking me one person. I'm not thinking like, oh, he hasn't ate. Because if you coming over 8 or 9, boy, I'm in the bed, so I done already ate. Okay. So I don't know what time you coming over. Like it's not like you just coming over right after work. But then also you don't want them to get too comfortable thinking that they can just come over whenever they want to right after work. Because like this is my house. You don't pay these bills. So if you want to be coming over here, want to be doing this, then we need to live together. Then we need to go. We need to get married.
So you said boundaries right out the gate.
Oh yes, that's what the word is. That's the buzzword. Oh, I'm not saying buzzword. That is a word. I don't think it's boundaries, but I guess that is a boundary. Yes. Mm-hmm. You're just not coming over here just every day willy and nilly. If you want to come home to me every day, baby, ring. Okay. Propose. Marriage.
Period. Yeah. So
What if he? What if he's like convincing? Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
if he's convincing,
You can be convincing all day long, but what you're convincing me that you're.
But don't underestimate a person in love, because when you in love and somebody tells you all the right things, you might not consciously know that like, oh, you acting different for this nigga.
But I'm saying, you're saying that he's convincing. You're saying that he's convincing me, like he is promising me a life that he's going to marry me.
Yeah,
And he's telling me
like,
by coming over to my house.
no, like in y'all's everyday conversations, your going out, your interactions.
Uh-huh.
Like, you know, he presents as like, this is the type of man I want to marry one day. His words, maybe his actions is even matching that. But that don't mean.
But it's only going to match it for a long period of time.
So
So
like,
I feel like.
at what point do you like stop that? Because if they're already coming out the gate with that, you might naturally start doing wifely things because you're like, oh, let me prepare myself for this husband.
Yeah, you may do it. So I don't. That's a what if situation, and I don't know. I feel like if I'm hearing the right things and he's kind of doing the right things, I could see myself being more wifely because there's a hope there. There's like, and that's only at the beginning.
That's what we gotta get.
But that's only. I was gonna say that's only at the beginning because then I think there's a certain. Well, at least for me, there's gonna be a certain point where I'm like, I can't continue doing this, or I'm not gonna because you're like, you know, your words are not backed up with anything. So I guess maybe in the beginning, probably if I heard all those fruitful, nice words and stuff like that, I may consider doing a little bit more because I want to be wiped up. But after a while, I don't see any change behavior there.
And that's what I was gonna say because I think it's action. So you're saying like how long you gonna do it? If it's in the beginning, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing wifely duties in the beginning, because when you're saying that at the beginning, you're convincing me like this dude's like, yeah, I want to be in a relationship, I want to do this, I want to do that. You're saying that stuff, but you're saying that stuff, you're just getting to know me. So when I hear that, like, oh, he's like, I want to get married, I want to do this, like, that don't mean that it's to me. Because we just talking, we just learning each other, we just trying to figure out, like, you could always want to get married, you can always want to have kids. That don't mean that that's with me. So I'm not going to be like, oh, let me go do this. I'm not doing that for you because I don't even know you. It's just something of a thing. Like, I do want to get married, but that don't mean I'm going to get married to you. So when I hear that in the beginning, I'm not like, oh, let me go show him I could cook and clean, put my mother's steward on, do all that. I'm not doing that because I'm just like, and honestly, any woman could cook, any man could cook, like, anybody could cook for you, you know what I'm saying? So I don't even think necessarily that's a wifely duty. So I think, in a sense, like, a man can get that from anywhere. You can even go get takeout. But the instance of, like, oh, I might show that I care more about you, I might show that, like, I'm thinking more about you, I feel like that's even more differently than me being like, oh, I cooked you a meal. Because, I mean, they do say the way to the man's heart is food, which is true, but I'm saying at the end of the day, like, anybody can give you food, right? And you can get food from anywhere. You might not get that level of, like, care, you might get that level of thoughtfulness, like, so I wouldn't be saying, like, oh, I'm going to do all this, but I know in the back of my head, I'm like, he could marry me, he could not marry me. So I wouldn't do that in the beginning. But if it's like later on, like, say we're in a relationship and stuff like that, then I would just have to see his actions, and I'd be like, okay, so, like, well, when do you, because baby, I'm like, so when do you see yourself this, when do you see this stuff that, like, you reflect and you do, like, okay, this is a year, it's been 2 years, okay, I'm about to be the third year.
What are we doing?
Yeah.
I feel you.
I see that.
What do you think? You didn't answer it.
What was my question?
The question about
if they're convincing.
Yeah, they're convincing.
Well, like y'all already said, like, you can only be convincing for so long, right? So, like, after the first year or two, if I'm like, okay, you've been saying all this, you've been acting right, but, like, where's the ring? If I don't see that coming anytime soon, I don't see you working overtime to get that, I'm gonna be like, okay.
Yes.
But I'm also the type of person, like, if I start out the relationship, like, doing the quote-unquote wifely duties, I'm probably not going to stop out the blue, because that's just how I am.
Because that's who you are.
Because, like, that's, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead. Because, like, if I start, like, if I start cooking, like, I'm going to be like, well, I might as well just make 2 plates if he's coming over, because it just makes sense to do that.
You said you wasn't going to cook.
Yes, and you make 2 good
No, like, just, like, in general, that's an example. If I say, like, oh, like,
laundry.
No, I'm not. Laundry's too much.
But that's what I'm saying. I don't think cooking is a wifely duty. You see what I'm saying? Because that's just you're thinking about him. That could be like the wifely duty in a sense, because that's what I'm saying. Like, he could have ate before he came over. It's nothing to add another plate. So I don't think that, like, cooking for someone is a wifely duty. You just showing that you can cook. Basically, they hungry.
And that's why I have a few things to go off of. So first, Joyce, when you were talking about it being who you are, so sometimes I think that it may be hard for me to say that I would do wifely duties just because I know who I am. I am a very nurturing and caring and really do like to care and really care for people and stuff like that. But I don't know sometimes when it comes to relationship if I'm as nurturing and as like I want to do so much. I do that more so for like family, friends, and things like that, or people or my clients that I work with. But I don't know if I'm so much like that in a relationship. So sometimes we can't fault some women for doing wifely duties because some women may be just so much more nurturing than some other women, you know. And sometimes it's just like, oh, should you do wifely duties, should you not do wifely duties? Some people, like firstborn daughters and stuff like that, they kind of already naturally have like a motherly instinct where they're gonna take care of their loved ones. Do they have a motherly instinct, or is it what is put on them? Because what is nurturing? I don't think you just come out the gate motherly instinct.
No. Nurturing can just be like you are extra thoughtful and like you're very caring of people. Like it's not
really
that, oh, you're not gonna be my son or something like that. You're like, oh, he's been working all day. You want to play, babe?
Yeah, you
like,
always want to take care of people is what's nurturing. And there's just some people who are more, some people are just a little bit more nurturing. So it's like sometimes we can't fault women or men or whoever, but we can't fault them for like, you doing wifely duties too early. That just could be a naturally who she is kind of person too, where like she just automatically, if you someone that she really loves or someone that she really considers you family, whatever, she's gonna automatically take care of you, make appointments, do that. And I said that for firstborn daughters, because what you say?
Make appointments.
Right?
I barely make my own appointments.
When you talk to firstborn daughters, they had to sometimes, depending on how much older than their siblings, they had to take care of their siblings.
And that's what I'm saying. So, but I'm saying that's not instinct. Firstborn daughters, that's not instinct. They didn't might want to. They had to. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I'm saying like
that firstborn daughters is not instinct, because not all firstborn daughters are like some of them are the opposite. They're very cold. And that's not an instinct.
But if you
but
happen
I'm just
to
saying,
do
if
it,
you
it
just
becomes
happen,
second nature.
and if you happen to meet a firstborn daughter and she's very much like that, then it's like that probably did come from like that learned behavior, her taking care of it.
I would say more.
Some people's temperament, some people's temperament is like some people's way being born. They've just always been a caring person, no matter what born they are. They might be an only child. So
yeah, and that's fine. But I think that goes back to that person, because if they are nurturing, then they have to know like in general, they're just like, I know that's me. So even if I'm nurturing in any relationship, that's just who I am as a person. I'm not necessarily doing wifely duties, but
I'm saying that though there's people, I'm gonna say women that are very nurturing and do the wifely duties. Like I mean, I know most people, a lot of people are very nurturing, especially women. We're just gonna be, it is what it is. Like women are very like, I'm gonna take care because we want things to be, women like things a certain kind of way, so I'm gonna just handle it. I'm gonna do what it is. But there are some people who are very like nurturing and very like, that's why I said motherly in a sense, like very like wifely, like I'm gonna take care of what I love. Like what I love is always gonna be good, and I'm gonna I always put people before me type of personality.
Yeah, and then I feel like that also goes into the thing of like, even in marriage, being the wife and stuff, I feel like some men are looking for mothers within their wives or within their partners. They want somebody to make appointments for them. They want somebody to ask them, why ain't you up here? You got work in X amount of minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you
they're
looking
for
child?
You looking for a mother, or are you looking for a partner?
Exactly. Yeah. That is the next topic.
So I was
not right now. I'm saying that needs to be another topic.
But I was gonna go off of whoever said it, Joyce or Alicia, saying that cooking is not the only thing that makes you wifely duties. Facts. So let's put the cooking, the cleaning, the organizing away. What about like wifely duties such as like putting your partner before you? Or what about wifely duties is like, I consider his emotions so much. Like those are like wifely duties too, where we're not just talking about cooking, cleaning, those like physical things you do, like the really deep intimate information that you want to find out about somebody, or the really deep attraction you want to find out about somebody. Do you give those to people that are not going to be your husband?
I don't think
like
the emotion part, I don't think like emotionally and stuff like that, I don't think that's a wifely duty. I think like maybe the appointments could be a wifely duty. I do think putting them first could be a wifely duty. But
making the appointment means that you care about their health. So like that's what I'm saying, like wifely duty goes beyond like the actions that we do. That's really the thought behind the things that we do. Like wifely duties is saying that like I made your appointment because like ultimately I care about your health. Yeah. That's a big thing. That's a big step, because there's, you know, just the everyday man that you're dating, you might not care about his health. And so that's wifely duties. Like, do you give, if you're not married to this man, do you care about this man's health?
If you want to get married to him, then you probably do care about his health.
So then why would you not do a wifely duty if you want to get married to him?
Well, because he needs to be able to make his own appointments, because what was he doing before I got there? That means you ain't went to the dentist, you ain't went to the doctor, you ain't do this, you ain't do that.
Or financially, where you step in and you're like, I'll help pay this.
That's not a wifely duty, that's a sugar mama.
Or I'll help do this, or I'll contribute more to this, or we're saving here in this bank. You can get a bank account together if you're not married, I don't think, but you know, like we're gonna get an account together, or you get an account.
De'Ara and Ken, they wasn't married, they had to sell that land.
Where I say with the money thing, where it's a deeper issue of not just like I put money into the account, where it's thinking like we're gonna have rainy days, or we're saving for a house, so that means that's a bigger investment of like we're building a property together and stuff like that. So that's wifely duties, right? Because it's like, so I can't believe but it's like I'm thinking deep, like I see it forever with you.
Yeah, so wifely duties is not thinking about yourself anymore, but thinking about the other person
and thinking about the family.
So then do you think about babies? Great segue. Do you think having a baby is a wifely duty?
Yes,
I think it's just a naturally occurring thing. Now, I feel like you should probably wait till marriage so you have that like concrete support. But that's a naturally occurring thing. Like, people of all ages and all backgrounds, married or not, have babies all day without even the thought of, oh, because you're my husband, I'm going to have a baby
stuff
with
like
you.
that.
Exactly, one night stand. Some people get married and don't even want kids, but that doesn't make them less of a wife. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, but that doesn't make it like that doesn't make it automatically a wifely duty, because it could have really just been like, we had sex once, didn't use protection, and we ended up having a baby type stuff. You know, it could be that it was just like not a mistake, because I mean, if you have sex, it's not a mistake, but it wasn't like I was like intentionally trying to have
or
a child.
Or you could have had sex 100 times with this person unprotected and still have a child.
And this one time, this 101 time, we ended up getting pregnant.
But that doesn't mean just because we was having sex, I even wanted a baby with you. I could just like the sex.
And I prefer it without a condom.
Exactly.
This is not for kids.
Not at all. So, you know, that does make a good, because my original thought was like, that is a wifely duty. You know, you're creating, when we talk about beyond, you're creating a generation. But you make a really good point that sometimes it's not always wifely duty. You could just been having sex.
Yeah, so I guess it's not the duty part. I guess I was trying to say the privilege maybe part or whatever. Like, it's not a duty. Like, just because you're a wife doesn't mean you have to have a kid. That's basically what you're saying. Like, you don't have to have a baby just because you're a wife. That's like within the duty part, right? Yeah. What I guess I'm saying is like, it's a privilege to have a baby by me.
Facts.
And so so that's what I guess I'm trying to say. Like, you don't have to have kids, and if I might not want kids or whatever, but like, you don't have to have kids. So I guess back in the day it might have been wifely duty. That's why I have 10, 15 kids. But now I feel like it's like a wife privilege. Like, you can have a kid by me, and also because I don't have kids by no one else. I don't know if you have kids by anyone else, but it could be like, I'm waiting to have a kid when I get married. So that's what I guess I was thinking of. So I wouldn't say wifely duty because I don't have to have one, but I guess I was saying wifely duty to me because like, I'm waiting to have kids when I get married.
Yeah.
So just to clear that up. That's all. But yeah, so what do y'all think? Y'all have any other things to say about wifely duties? Y'all have any other?
Not a wife until you got a ring, so do with that what you will.
You're not a wife until you have that marriage certificate. Don't you think so? Versus the ring, because they could be like, this is my wife.
But some people get married and don't have to be like the legal way.
Well, that is the legal way. That is legal. I guess I was saying because they could give you a promise ring. They give you an engagement ring.
Oh, no, I'm talking about a wedding ring.
Okay, that's what I was talking about. Because I'm like, they could give you a promise ring. Like, I promise. That's how you saying. Very convincing. Oh, baby, let me give you a promise ring. So shut that up. No. We don't need a promise ring. I don't need no engagement.
I don't even know what a promise ring means. Like, I feel like an engagement ring is that a promise. All the promise that you need to make in the world. I don't understand.
Okay.
I don't even like rings, so don't even.
That's like the only ring that I'm probably gonna wear is my wedding ring.
I'm not gonna wear mine, so. No. I'm probably only.
I hope you don't have no emotional man because baby, they be crying.
Yeah, I'm only probably gonna wear it when I like dress nice. What's she saying?
The men be emotional. This dude talking about some. He'd be so mad. He was like, I'd be mad if my man didn't want. If my wife. If my wife didn't change her last name, I'm like, if your last name is under mine, I can't change it. It's like men out here is really emotional, so we should come back for the men's side, you know. But yeah, the emotional men out here, I'm just saying, some of the signs are more emotional than the other ones. That's all we got to say. So yeah, comment below if you like this video. Let me know your ideas, what you're thinking, and share this with your friend that's married and not married, period. Okay.
Bye, y'all.
Bye. Yes. You gotta do a thumbnail.
Yeah, okay. We should do another recording.
Okay.
We'll put it out another day.
Let's do a thumbnail though.
Okay, do it.
What should we do? Oh, we should do like this. Like, hold on, like, you know?
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, like wifey sound. Like, what is this thing called?
You should play the instrumental.
Huh? Oh, the single ladies instrumental?
Yes, single ladies
instrumental. Okay, because what is it called? Oh, wifely duty. So we should be like this, okay? We're going to do like this.
Because she said, if you,
oh, yes!
She said, if you like it, then you should put it
right. Okay, ready?